Whole beans ground fresh for every delicious cup, made with push-button convenience and no plastic waste guilt. Automatic bean-to-cup coffee, cappuccinos, lattes, and more. Would you pay less per cup for better coffee? Hey coffee lovers, Mark here from Whole Latte Love. Today I want to have a serious discussion about the cost of your coffee, the quality of your coffee, and how you can have very convenient coffee made from whole beans ground fresh for every cup. So a lot of you in the US are going to be familiar with the Keurig machine over here, you know, the pre-ground coffee little capsules. What I want to talk about today, I want to do a little comparison between that and a machine like this. This is a Gaggia Brera. It uses whole beans ground fresh for every cup. And beyond that, you can do espresso, you can make lattes, cappuccinos, and more. But what I want to do first is just get a little taste test running here and show you just how convenient both of these machines really are, but how this one's going to give you a much better cup of coffee at a much lower cost. So I'm going to put my plastic pre-ground coffee in here. She's ready to go, and I'll press go on both of these. Now both of these are going to make a 9-ounce cup of coffee. You can hear the grinder running over here. It's grinding beans fresh for that cup. Keurig's heating up. It's going to do its thing. And while they're doing their thing, and we're going to take a look at the quality here, but here's what you get in a Keurig capsule. So you're going to get this. And here's what we're using over here. We're using those whole beans. Those are going to be ground fresh for every cup. In the Keurig, in this capsule, there was about 9 grams of coffee, and that's what I've ground over here is about 9 grams of coffee. One really big difference, these capsules here, if you're really lucky, you might get them for 40 cents each. I know I've got some other ones over here, this National brand. I think these run closer to 80 cents each. These beans here, I'm using a Maroma's Orfea coffee, one of my favorite. It's an Italian bean blend, really delicious, gets great reviews. This goes for $20 a kilogram. So that 9 or 10 grams in here costs you 20 cents. 20 cents a cup versus I'm using a Green Mountain breakfast blend over here. That's going to run probably 50 cents a cup if you're lucky. So less than half the cost over here. Now, the Keurig is finished up. My Gaggia Brera here is almost done, but already, I just want you to look at the visual difference here. Much creamier presentation of the coffee here. And we'll get a taste here in a minute. I'll bring this one over. And we'll put them side by side so you can really get a good visual look at the differences here. Now, which coffee is more appealing? Our coffee from the Gaggia Brera really looks much, much nicer. I'm going to take a little taste. Okay. I'll take a little taste of the, this is a Maroma's Orfea again. Oh my gosh, I wish you could be here with me and taste the difference. But whenever we do this and we put the Keurig coffee next to coffee made from whole beans ground fresh, the reaction is immediate, how much better that cup of coffee really is. And again, this is less than half the price of this. So the Gaggia Brera here does cost a little bit more up front than say the Keurig machine, but over time, think about that. You know, if you were drinking, say, you know, I don't know, in my house, we go through at least 6 or 8 cups a day. So that, you know, using these capsules, I'm looking at somewhere between $3 and $4 a day. 6 or 8 cups of coffee over here at 20 cents each, you know, you're looking at less than $1.50. So this is going to pay for itself really, really quickly just in the cost of the coffee, and it's going to be better coffee. Now, a couple other things, and we'll get into more of this in a minute, but a couple other things over here. Well, on the Keurig, we do have 2 cup sizes. Over here, we have the same thing. So 2 buttons right here, so we can program for different cup sizes. But I'm going to go grab a couple more cups and show you, you can do 2 cups of coffee on this at the same time. So if you have a friend or a wife or a husband or whatever, you can make 2 cups of coffee at one time. Can't do that with a Keurig. All right, so I'm just going to place my 2 cups in there, and to get 2, all I do is press one of my cups here, and I have 2 programmable sizes 2 times. And it's going to grind twice. So I could program this volume. I made these a little bit smaller on my other cup size here. It is programmable. Made these, I think, about 5 ounces. But if I just program 1 cup, if I hit twice, I'll get 2 5-ounce cups with a separate grind cycle in between. So I'm still going to end up with the same full strength. Also up here, I don't think I really pointed this out yet, but you do have adjustable strength here. So if you like it a little stronger, a little weaker, you have 3 strength settings here. Not something you can really get on a Keurig. You know, so over here on the Keurig, while this is brewing, I've got to take, you know, my cup out and go throw it in the garbage. But I want to talk about, you know, what's in here. So a lot of times I'll go pick these up at a store. I picked these up for this video. And the expiration dates, they're sometimes 2 years out. So you don't have no idea how long that coffee, that pre-ground coffee has been in here. And if you talk to any coffee expert, the best way to a better cup of coffee, it's going to be to grind the beans fresh right before they're brewed, and that's what the Brera does. It's got a grinder built right in there. A couple other little features here. We'll get more into the steaming one again and show you how you can make cappuccinos, lattes, that kind of thing. You can't do that over here. You also have a bypass doser up here. So here you can use pre-ground coffee. So if you wanted to, if you had some pre-ground that's not in a plastic cup, maybe some decaf, you can do that over here, and it'll just brew from that. As if it had ground the beans, but that's great for decaf coffee. Talk a little bit about varieties. You know, I've got a few of the different types of Keurig capsules over here. You know, some of these, you know, if you're really lucky, again, you might pick them up for 40 cents each, but the more name brandy sort of ones like this, they're gonna be running you 80, 90 cents maybe. Over here, again, I'm using this Maroma's Orphea coffee. It just looks beautiful coming out. This runs $20 a kilogram. That's 1,000 grams. Do the math there. It's 20 cents for a 10-gram dose, which is what's in your average Keurig cup. So much, much lower cost, much better coffee. And it's finishing up here. And of course, when I'm done with this, I don't have to take any capsules out or anything. I'll show you these in a few minutes, but the water reservoir and the used coffee, those drawers slide right out the front. We've also got a surface up here where you can do some cup warming, but there we go. 2 cups of coffee. So for your husband, wife, a friend, if you need 2 cups, it's that easy. Frankly, far more convenient than it would be over here on the Keurig. All right, so we saw the machine make a really nice cup of coffee, then 2 cups. We can also make espresso, and I'm going to show you that and then show you how you can do a really easy milk froth so you can have a latte or a cappuccino or a macchiato, something like that. While we're doing that, I do want to show you, you have some adjustable spouts here. Again, I could do 2 espressos at the same time. I'm going to take you through how the machine is programmed. Again, very easy. I'm just going to press and hold the button until it flashes here. And then when I have the amount of espresso that I want, I just press the button again and that amount will be programmed. If for any reason you ever put a cup in there and you're getting too much, you can always just hit a button to make it stop so you can't overflow as you're doing that. And I do want you to pay close attention to the quality of the espresso here. What you're looking for in a nice espresso is a nice rich layer of crema. And that's what we're going to get. Again, I'm using the Maroma's Orphea, nice Italian style bean blend, and that's all crema right now. I'm going to let that go and do me a double shot here up to about 2 ounces. Now I could do this right straight into the glass I'm going to prepare our latte in, like this, but I did want you to get a look at that. So I'm going to leave this up here so you can get a look at that right now, and you see the crema in there. So next up, let's get into frothing milk. Again, really easy. The Brera uses an auto frothing steam wand here, so really no skill required, and that's going to do you a really nice froth. So I'm just putting some cold milk in a pitcher. Honestly, you could froth, you could put the milk right in the glass. If you don't have the pitcher, you could froth it there if you want. So I'm just going to turn my machine over to steam here. You're always going to want to purge the wand. It's purging right into the drip tray there. Once that's good, I'm going to shut off, clean it up a little bit, then I'm going to place my pitcher and turn it back to steam. And this does, the auto frothing wand does all the work for you. So what I'm going to do is just position it down into the milk. It's got a little air intake, so you're going to get that airy froth in this drink. So it's just steaming the milk now, and I'm going to do this until the outside of the pitcher is just warm. You never, for a latte, you really don't want the milk all that hot. Now we have a lot of videos on how to do this. Again, it's very, very easy with this auto frothing wand like this. starting to get warm. As it gets warmer and I want to stop injecting air, you can see it's about to go over the top of my glass here, the froth. I'm just going to lower the wand a little bit deeper. And it's just to the point where it's getting a little uncomfortable to hold, so that's where I'm going to stop. That's going to give us milk at about 140, 150 degrees. When I'm done, always wipe your wand. You want to keep the stuff clean. Run a little steam out and just turn it back. Now again, I could have made my espresso right into this glass, but I did want you to see the crema on the espresso. So now I'll just pour this into my glass. Then we're going to take our froth. Just going to give it a couple swirls and taps to get rid of any really large bubbles. I don't know, it's going to be kind of hard to see. You'll see it when it pours, but it's a really nice froth. So I'm just going to pour that. Then at the end, we can let a little of that airier froth up top to get a pretty nice presentation of a latte. And if you're into the art, there is a way that you can froth to a latte art quality on this machine. Let's get a taste of that. Oh yeah, that's a latte made for about 30 cents. So if, you know, read the reviews on this machine, because if you go to Starbucks, I don't know what a latte is. $3, $4, $4.50, something like that. I made this for 30 cents. 20 cents in the coffee, maybe 10 cents in milk. Real easy in my own home, no lines, and I can't do that over here. I showed you how easy it was to get a really nice froth using the auto frothing wand, but I did mention you can do latte art on this machine if you know a little trick. So I brewed a shot of espresso, invited my good friend Todd, who pours latte art in, and he's going to show us how to do that.
Sure. What I'd like to do is pull off the Panarello wand. You saw how nice a job that did earlier. And this is if you want to do some little latte art, you can do that. So give the wand a little purge. Get it ready. That's good. Put the tip just below the surface of the milk. Turn on the steam. And keep it there while it's starting to heat up the full steam pressure. Pressure starts to build, lower it down a little bit so the tip's near the surface. Like that. You hear a little hissing sound. Start to get some bubbles in there. Pretty soon the pressure will build, and there it goes. And all those big bubbles will get sucked underneath. And we get it up to about 140 degrees, which is getting pretty warm for your hand. Right about there. Always make sure you clean your steam wand. That's a nice creamy froth.
All right, so if you want to do latte art, there's that little trick to do that. Just take the wand off and use it like it was a manual steam wand, but if you want it really easy, you leave the wand on there and you get a really nice froth for a cappuccino or a latte. I'm going to slide that back on. We'll take you on a quick tour of the machine before we wrap up here. So again, up top, the bean hopper. Nice seal on the lid here to keep your beans fresh, and all the beans just go right in here. You do have grind size adjustment here, so you can adjust the size of your grind depending on the drinks you're making most. Got the bypass doser up here so you can scoop in pre-ground coffee. Most people use that for a decaf. Up on top in front of that, you have a little surface here. This gets warm, so you place your cups up here to keep them warm before you make a coffee. Going around the front of the machine here. So we got the single and or smaller cup, larger cup icons, and you can program those. I showed you how to do that. Real easy. Press either of those twice to get 2 beverages with 2 separate grind cycles so you don't lose strength. Power button over here. Then the strength selector. Something you can't do on a Keurig, or at least this one, is choose the strength of your coffee. So I press this, you'll see the pre-ground icon. That's if you're going to use a bypass doser. Then you go 1, 2, or 3 beans. That determines your strength. Down across front here, we have pulled that slides out from the front, all this stuff. The water reservoir is about 40 ounces, so that's 8 5-ounce cups of coffee, or a lot of espressos. Slides out the front so you don't have to lift anything out of the top. On the other side, we have the used coffee drawer. So no capsules here, just coffee grounds, and those can go in the garbage. They're biodegradable. You can use them in your garden, compost them. Great for that too. Also on the front here, the drip tray slides out the front like this. Got a lot of capacity. You can see I do have some water in there, but if I take this around, it has a baffle, so it doesn't spill very easily, so it keeps it clean. Slide that back in. Then one more thing to look at around the side here is what I call the little mini barista that's inside of the machine. I am going to pull this out. This is the brew group, so ground coffee gets deposited into here, compressed like a barista would if you've seen them tamp in a cafe, and then does all the brewing for you. Maintenance very easy. You take this out maybe once a week, give it a rinse with just, not hot water, just some warm water, let it dry, put it back in the machine, and that's all there is to it. Pop it back in, and you're ready to go. So again, the Gaggia Brera, really one of the best values, the best value really in a automatic bean to cup machine. I think it's the way to go if you want good coffee, doesn't cost as much, and is just as convenient as the Keurig. If you have any questions about the Brera, use those comments. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And until next time, I hope you come on back for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love. Want to learn more? Subscribe now so you'll know about the latest videos on everything coffee from Whole Latte Love.